Hello everyone, in this video I'm just going to be playing around and painting some fur. The purpose of this, a friend actually asked me if I would try to paint their pet, a Westie, I think the breed is. At first I wasn't too sure how this would turn out because I don't paint a lot of fur, or pets in general, but I figured I'd at least give it a go and sort of use it as a study if nothing else to, try and paint fur. So the way I actually went about doing this was first of all just blocking in the main sort of shades and colours, getting where the lighting's coming from, similar to the way you would do it with hair. And from there I started with a soft round brush, but on the larger side, and you want to try it, or the way I did it was to actually try and block in bunches of fur hair, whatever you want to call it, and then once you've got most of that in there, you sort of make the soft brush. You could make it harder, or you could just make it smaller, which will make the edge a little bit sharper and harder anyway, and then go in and sort of just define the hairs a little bit more. One thing that did help this piece particularly was the white sort of sparkle in the eye, the reflection. Before I put that in, the piece just didn't look anything like realistic, I guess. But as soon as I put a little white dot, a little white reflection in there, that helped a lot. With this nose I'm working on at the moment, it came out quite well with the lighting on the side, but I realised I had done the nose too small, so later on I had to sort of change the nose. And the same with the sort of hair on above the nose and between the eyes. I sort of, from a distance, I was just sort of throwing them in there randomly, and then once I zoomed in later on I realised it actually looked quite bad and could have done with a lot of neatening up, so you will see me paint over that, hopefully for the better. You'll also see that I don't paint every sort of individual hair, I guess, in the sense of the fur on the back. If you look at the actual reference image, you can't actually make out every hair, it's just sort of blurry. So again, using a blurry, well, you could actually use the blur option, or you could use a soft edged brush. There's different techniques to doing it, and everyone's got their own way. But as I say, starting off with a bigger soft edge brush, blocking in a lot of the area, and then defining them with a smaller brush, which in some areas I did try using a smaller brush too much, and like at the moment in some areas the dog's looking a little bit wiry in terms of the hair being a bit wiry, so maybe I should have used my own advice a bit better there. You might be noticing that I do flip the canvas a lot on both pieces, the reference and the one I'm working on. Flip it horizontally and vertically, especially at the beginning when getting the sketch layer in. It's good for looking at negative space and getting the shapes right and things. But after you've been working on a piece for a long time, if you've been staring at it for a couple of hours, it starts to look right to you, even when there's some really bad mistakes. And it just helps to just flip it or stick a mirror next to it so you can see it flipped, and you almost instantly pick up on a lot of mistakes. It's a massive help, that. So if you don't do that, you should definitely start doing it. Create a shortcut if you use Photoshop to flip your canvas, and it really is a big help. You notice a lot more mistakes that way. And this is a bit you can see there with the hair above the Westie's nose. When it's zoomed in, you can see how messy that is. And you can see there's quite a defined shape on the actual reference, sort of between the eyes. So I do go in and try and sort of correct this a little bit. In terms of contrast, I think I could have actually gone a little bit darker on the shadowed side of the dog, purely because if you look at the reference, the contrast is quite a lot between where the light is reflecting on the face, like with quite a light blue. Mine looks like I need more light blue on her, even whiter, I guess, but I'd already used pretty much white, which you almost never use in Photoshop anyway. So I couldn't go any lighter than that. So maybe if I'd have started off the whole piece a little bit darker, I could have gone a little bit lighter, added more contrast. I also had to add the tail in quickly there because I completely forgot about that. And that is the finished piece. Hopefully you guys like it. I was pretty happy with the way it turned out because it could have gone either way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can click on the videos on screen now to see more. Please do click the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen, and in the description you will see links to my DeviantArt, my Facebook and my blog. Thanks so much for watching, guys.